Hey guys. So today I did indeed find out that I tested positive for COVID. Today is April 22nd, 2022. Officially about 2 years since it all went down. I used the rapid test at home, and as you can see, the two lines were positive. Um, Literally, as soon as I stuck this stick like inside the slot, I immediately saw this bottom line. Like it appeared like right away, and I started laughing to myself because I was like, "Wow!" Basically, um, today's what, Friday. I started feeling some symptoms of um my throat was sore. It still is sore, but it's not like severe, and I felt like my sinus has been acting up, just feeling like stuffy and what is that? Stuffy and like sniffling, not really coughing, but just kind of trying to clear my throat. Yesterday and the day before, kind of swallowing a lot. Really wanting to eat food with like flavor and not just having. I mean, drinking water is important, but I felt like when I was drinking water, I wanted some kind of taste like in my mouth. Today, I'm not really swallowing a lot. It's more clearing my throat, a little coughing, a little bit. The sore throat, I can't see it in here, but it definitely looks a little red. But I don't feel any body aches. I don't have a headache. Don't have a fever. I've been goggling, whatever, some salt water, like putting salt and keeping the temperature of the water really, really hot, just like goggling it in like a little cup and spitting it out. So that way the salt kind of will try to eliminate the bacteria that's in my throat that's causing me to be sick. Um, and I started feeling this on like Wednesday morning when I woke up. It's probably because I went out on Saturday night into Sunday, which was Easter. Bar hopping. I had my mask, but I wasn't really wearing it. No one was wearing it. They didn't ask to, they lifted up the mandates for wearing a mask, so we were having a good time, but definitely has encouraged me more to be more mindful about wearing masks again, even though the state and wherever in New York has lifted the mandate for wearing it. You still have to take it upon yourself to be responsible for your body and for other people's body and health. Um, I guess it really does feel like COVID has gone, even though we all know it hasn't. It's still here, so I'm vaccinated. I got 2 of the booster shots for Pfizer, which is supposed to be like the best one, but still, like, I got it, and I thank God that my symptoms are not like severe. Like, I'm not, I'm able to do this video right now. But you still have to be mindful. You have to be considerate. You can't be selfish. You can't be afraid. You can't be in some sort of self denial of having it. Um, but yeah, when I found out, I just started kind of laughing at like myself, I guess, and then I started feeling like kind of self shame and guilt because I wasn't responsible enough for myself and then thinking about like the amount of people I've interacted since then with, I just start to like feel bad about if I expose people to it because of me wanting to party. And even though I didn't, do it intentionally, like get COVID intentionally, I didn't want to, I have my mask on at work, but sometimes obviously I'll like pull it down because the whole concept of like the lifting the mask mandate, kind of encourages me not to wear it as strictly as I was 2 years ago and last year even, or earlier this year maybe. Yeah, but it's kind of like an eye opener that it's not gone. COVID is not gone. I don't know if it'll ever be gone, but I do know that you just still have to be careful as much as you can. It's a real thing. It definitely. I've never had it before, at least to my knowledge of getting tested. I think I may have had it 2 years ago, but I don't know for sure. I just kind of had like a sore throat, but it was kind of exaggerated. Like my lymph nodes were swollen, and I was sick for like 2 weeks straight. I had to go to the urgent center, and they prescribed me these pills and all this kind of nonsense, and it was terrible. It was nothing like what I am experiencing now. Probably mostly because that I have the booster shots. I have the antibodies able to fight this off. I have a strong immune system. I think I always had a strong immune system. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I didn't have the mindset that I didn't need to take the shot because it's important. Like, people forget that billions, trillions of people have died from this, and it's wow, there's a fly in my house. It's that season. It's Happy Earth Day also. It's that season, and sorry, I just lost my train of thought because there's a fly in my house. So I let the doors open for my dogs to go outside, and I hate when flies get in my house. But usually when this starts happening, it's a signal of spring coming, and it's beautiful outside. It's still kind of winter. What are you gonna do? But yeah, it's definitely this sickness, this virus has mutated over time into other variants and factors of what it could be mutated into. I don't know if it's still as worse as it was in its prime, if it worsened or if it lessened. I'm kind of getting a sense that it's not as bad because I can just tell by how I feel like I'm not 100% well, but I know I'm not like I'm not like, if I had to rate how sick I feel from a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it like maybe like a 6, which is kind of high. I could say 5, but I'd say 6 because it's like when you take the pills, like Tylenol or whatever pills people use to take, Motrin, to heal their sore throats or whatever. You start to feel better within those hours that you take them, and then when the drug starts to wear off, you start to feel kind of more shitty. I took my 2 pills maybe about 2 hours ago now with a cup of hot tea. Even as I just swallowed, like I could feel some kind of like scratchiness, some strain in my throat. But it's not like, it doesn't feel as sore as it did when I woke up this morning. But even when I woke up this morning, like I've had worse sore throats than that. I guess is what I'm saying. Like, this is not severe, but still, like, these tests are not wrong. I've taken these. This is probably my like 3rd time taking this kind of test, and both times before that, I just wanted to. The first time I took it, I just wanted to see like what my result would be because I had no idea. I was like going to work every day and interacting with a bunch of different kinds of people, and I guess I just wanted to know if I was asymptomatic or whatever. But I tested negative for then, and then another time, the second time, I don't know if I thought that I was exposed because, yes, I thought I was exposed because my teacher said that she may have been exposed by someone in her class. So I was kind of panicky and took a self-test for myself. Ended up being negative. And today, I just was like, let me take a test just to see, like, if do I just have a sore throat or do I have COVID? And I got COVID. So yeah, you know, I know I'll be well. It's just kind of unfortunate. You have to try your best to not feel guilty, obviously, because it wasn't intentional, but you have to enforce that mindfulness part too, that you have to be more responsible, you have to be careful and aware and alert all the time. Unless they say and announce it and that there's no more cases of people catching COVID, then there's no real need to feel mindful about wearing masks and stuff. But that's not the case. It never has been since it started in 2020. So I don't see why, me, myself, and other people out there should think the opposite of that, I guess. That makes sense. But yeah, definitely not giving into the guilt and like the cons of it. Like, I'm gonna self-isolate for about 5 days. It says on Google, if you Google it, how long should you quarantine away from people. It says about 5 days. Some places say 10, but I'll say 5. When I found out, I just started kind of praying because I didn't know what to do. I know that I want to go. I have work tomorrow. I'm obviously not going to go. I know that I wanted to, and I was thinking, well, should I tell them? Should I not tell them? Like, I know I'll wear a mask. Like, I'll wear, like, the most proper mask you're supposed to wear. The I-95, whatever it's called. I guess my dilemma was that I really wanted to do the right thing. But I know there's most likely a way for me to get paid while I'm not there. But I guess I just didn't want to go through whatever process that would entail. Mostly because I know people are just like to give other people a hard time, and I guess I'm just praying for that not to happen, but I'm prepared for it to happen. If it does, hopefully it won't, but God fights for me. He's on my side, and I know and I may feel that I'm not worthy, and in ways realistically I'm not. I know that Jesus tells me that I am worthy. Otherwise, him dying on a cross for all of our sins would be, what's the point? It would be worthless. But he tells me I am, so that's my reassurance. That's what's keeping me alive and thriving right now, even though my body is not in its best state. And my soul and my mindset and my heart and my strength, it's very strong. My faith is very strong in this moment, and I'm just grateful that things could have been worse. They could have been worse, and I'm grateful that they're not. So I'm blessed, even though I have COVID. It's not the best thing, but it's not the worst thing. And I'm praying for those who have things way worse than having COVID. Like people with all the psychological problems and fears and physical aspects that's going on with the war in Ukraine and Russia. I'm praying for those people most of all. I'm praying for other people who've lost families and friends, whoever, from COVID, from just loss in general, cancer, from psychological problems, from natural deaths, just everything. Dealing with their own pain, their own sense of fear, insecurities, and doubts and fears, all of that. I'm praying for those people most of all, more than what I'm going through, because I know God will keep me okay. Even in my worst, I know he'll keep me okay. I'm praying for those who don't look to him to keep them okay. Those are the people that I think need the most prayers. And yeah, if this video ever gets out, I genuinely hope that my intentions for making this, one is because I feel like I needed to speak about it out loud. Two, I genuinely hope that if it ever gets out or anyone ever sees it or whatever, that it speaks to you in some kind of positive light, that it uplifts you if you ever get COVID or get sick or do something that makes you feel like you have to feel shame and fear for an action that you did or done that wasn't intentional. Just know that you can choose not to look at it that way, and that you can essentially save yourself by allowing yourself to be saved by Jesus. It's a real thing. He's a real person. It's a real concept, and it's not just a religion. It's what life is. And the sooner you allow yourself to grasp that and fully let go of all the things, all the circumstances, all the people, all the obstacles, as soon as you just surrender yourself and the desires that you have, those selfish needs that we all have and that we'll always carry until the day we die, but just simply acknowledging it every day and just asking God for guidance and for help and for security and for his blessings and to just help you as a person. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself every day, and being consistent. And it's not hard. It's very easy. All you have to do is just talk to him. Give him your worries, your anxieties, your fears, everything. I didn't even plan on like talking about God, but you know what? I'm glad I did, because it's the focus of everything. It's the reason why I'm not experiencing a lot of like internal pain and like distressing feelings and moments within myself, that I know that if I didn't have such strong faith in God, I wouldn't feel as good as I feel right now. And I'm not saying that I feel good physically again, like it's not, I'm not in my 100% best quality of physical state right now, but the fact that I'm not focusing on my physical state, I'm focusing on my soul and how good it feels right now, because of how strong I feel